Hello, everyone. How are you? This is Just Like You, episode number 13. I cannot believe it. Episode number 13. Thank you all so much for your support. It's Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Chicago. And thank you so much for joining. Just a few things real fast. If you have a story or know someone who does, please get a hold of me. Please DM me. I'd love to have you on the show. The show is about positivity and stories and positive vibes and just sharing your story. Everyone's got one and we all want to hear it. So if you have a story, which I know you do, or you know someone who does, please DM me and I'd love to have you on the show. Another housekeeping issue is hopefully today the internet is going to let us be great and all is going to go well. But should anything happen, we are here 7:30 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we will be back. So for whatever reason, if we get disconnected or anything, we will be back from 7:30 to 8 p.m. So we'll be here until 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And again, this show is about positivity, and I'm so excited about sharing stories. I keep saying stories. So the show is about positivity. It's about people who are just like you, everyday people, amazing stories. And I hear, oh, the internet. Miss Kristen Scott, how are you? Let's see. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Kristen. I hope the internet is going to let us be great.
Me too. Can you see me?
I can see you. You're beautiful. How are you, my
I'm
friend?
good. How are you?
Good. I was just telling everyone, if the internet tries to get a hold of us, we'll be back. So
Yes.
we're here 7:30 to 8. So something happens, we'll be back. The internet is not going to stop our shine.
No.
Just so you know. So
We're starting off good. I think we're okay. Let me just turn you up. Hold on.
Okay. Okay.
No. Okay, now I can hear you. There we go. Excuse my hand blocking the camera.
Your hair looks amazing. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh. I knew I need to take a picture. I've never in my life had a protective hairstyle, like never ever, because my hair is thin, so I was afraid. And she did an absolutely phenomenal job. So
yeah, it looks really good.
Now.
It looks really good in your makeup. But you're always, you always look beautiful. You always look beautiful. So whatever hair you have, it's going to be beautiful. But I just want to thank you so much. It's so good to see you. We don't get to see each other in person, but you laugh at all my funny text messages. And, we have a lot of fun stuff in common. So I just wanted to thank you for being on the show today. We're both December babies, so that's exciting. And I don't want to, tell everyone all about you. I want you to tell a little bit about yourself. But, I know you as a friend.
Right.
And I know you as a mother, and I know you as a daughter of a warrior and an advocate. And I just think that, that's amazing. And that's something that, people want to hear. This story is shows just like you, everyday people, amazing stories. And I think as women, we have a lot of amazing stories, and men too, a lot of amazing stories that should be shared, and especially during this time. So if you want to give us just like a little synopsis about Kristen and her journey and share more.
So everything you said, I am a wife, a mother. I'm on this small reality television show called Basketball Wives. Yes, daughter of a warrior. So, oh my gosh, I think we're 2 years out. My mom is 2 years out of being breast cancer free. I just am a real person who got blessed with an opportunity to be on a television show, to hopefully this season get to show some of the things that I love, my philanthropy, a little more family life now that we're obviously stuck at home. But yeah, I met Taryn, oh my gosh, 8 years ago?
It was a long time ago.
And Taryn took me to church. That's how I knew. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to be good. She took me to church. I continued to go to that church after you took me to that church, and I continue to watch that church on Sundays in quarantine. So thank you for that. I am still being blessed by that church.
Amen.
That blessing. So I appreciate it.
Amen. Well, I just, you mentioned it, so I'll just, catapult off it, that you're on the show Basketball Wives. And one thing I want to tell you is that, you've never swayed away from Kristen. to me.
Thank you.
And
I'm glad you can see that.
I know. And that, in your intro, I was like, well, do I say it? Do I not say it? Because to me, you've never strayed away from, like I said, that girl who laughs at my text messages, the girl who, just whatever, is encouraging me to try to dance on TikTok, even though I don't have TikTok. And, just the things that we chat about back and forth. So, that's something that I appreciate about you. And I'm sure that others appreciate about you too. Because to me, you've never strayed away from the girl I met, Yeah. And so if no one says that a lot to you, I just want to tell you that I appreciate that.
I appreciate that. Yes. My everyone who knows me says that it's the edited TV persona that people get very confused. So that's why I always encourage people to send me a DM. I don't see them all, but the ones that I do see and that are appropriate, I do try to respond to them because, like I said, I'm a real person and got blessed with an opportunity that the next person sitting next to me could have got blessed with. So yeah, I like to chat it up and talk to people.
Yeah, and that's fun, I think. And so also I've been seeing you do, Kristen, some advocacy work. And I've seen you kind of get out there. And what I mean by that, what does it say?
Jamarion Robinson.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, my eyes. So yeah, so tell us about that. Like, tell us how you got involved in that and how's that going for you? Because this is the time and someone like you can speak out and be heard,
Yeah. So, I made a phone call one day. George Floyd was all over all of our televisions, and I decided that I wanted to have a voice in this. That could have been my husband. That could have been my brother. That could have been, it was somebody that I didn't know. But when you watch that video, I feel like the things that he said, calling out for his mom, as what did go around was a call out to all of us, right? So I made a phone call and I decided that I wanted to be a part of this movement. I thought I was just going to lend my platform, like, oh, you want me to post this? Well, I'll do that, And I had people pushing me to find a strength that I never thought I had. Like, you could have never told me that I would be protesting in the streets during Corona and Atlanta heat, all these types of things. So I led a protest on Juneteenth in Atlanta and had the privilege of meeting Jamarion's mom, Monterey Robinson. It was actually my friend Rhonda who really was like hyper focused on hearing her story. And I'm like, absolutely, I want to hear it. I've never heard your son's name. I've never seen your son's face. So this is important to me that you're standing out here with your best friend, making sure we know who he is. So quick little bit about Jamarion, because you guys should go and look it up. He was an athlete at Tuskegee University visiting his girlfriend in Atlanta, who was shot. I'm going to be correct just in case someone's listening to this. I want to be very correct to say he was shot over 50 times. The entry wounds and exit wounds are they're ridiculous. There were over 110 rounds shot at him into that apartment. He was shot down after he was passed away, or he was murdered, I should say, and then handcuffed and drugged down the stairs. And those police officers are still walking free. One of them has since passed away, but one of those police officers also tased someone at another school, which caused their death. So I'm in a situation where I met this mom, I listened to her story, and I made a promise to her that I'm going to do whatever I can. And I'm still trying to do whatever I can, having phone calls, getting his name out there, wearing T-shirts. There's an NBA guy who got a part of this movement today. His name is Chris Clemens. He plays for the Rockets. You go to his page on Instagram, and he is wearing Jamarion's name on his shirt, wearing it on his shorts, because this is important. This is a young Black man that was killed over 4 years ago, and no one even knows about it. And to me, you should not have to be a hashtag on a national media show for these parents, these mothers, these fathers, these grandmothers, aunties, uncles, in order to get justice.
Right.
So I am trying to help Monteria, her son's name be said, because she can't get him back, but she can make sure that we all know who he was. And that's what I'm trying to help with.
And I think that's awesome. I mean, think, of course, everybody thinks it's awesome. It's unfortunate, right? Like you said, that we have to, you know, we have to go this way to get things done, if you
Right.
will. And to your point, it's unfortunate that our young men and young women have to be, Instagram hashtags um, to make things happen. But I also think that, to your point of having a platform and being a voice and being committed to change,
Mhm.
I think that that's what we have to do. One of the reasons why I even decided to do the show is because, I want to serve my audience and our audience with things like stories that you're saying, and serve it with positivity, because there's so much in our world today that can take us down the path of whatever it is, craziness, and obviously we can see injustice. And I want to make sure that our part, or I'm doing my part, to get voices like yours heard and stories like yours told. And even the story you just told about the mom as well. I mean, I just think, I'm not a mom. I know you are a mom, but I can't fathom. I mean, even with my husband, I couldn't imagine. So I just, again, applaud you for your platform, and applaud you for taking that platform even further and making things happen.
I'm trying.
Yeah, because that I think it's just, sometimes it's one voice at a time, right? Like sometimes it's one movement at a time. It's people joining together, bonding hands and saying, making a promise like you did.
Yeah.
And committing to that promise. So tell us a little bit about, I guess, you've, like I said, you're able to have a platform. You're on a hit show. You're a mom. You're daughter of a warrior. Tell us a little bit about some of the lessons you've learned, like during all this, because just from me living in California, for instance, I know that that in itself taught me a lot of lessons, and I'm not on anybody's show.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so tell me some of the lessons. There's somebody listening, man or woman, that may have a platform or may one day have a platform. What are some of the things you've taken away from your journey as just Kristen?
I think one of my biggest things is staying true to yourself.
Okay.
Which, being on such a national stage,
Mm-hmm.
and being what they kind of want you to be perceived as is probably one of the most important things, to make sure I stay grounded with my family and my friends, to make sure that I don't ever let that portion of my life change me or change who my mother raised me to be.
Mm-hmm.
As I am raising a little girl, I want her to be respectful. I want her to be proud of her mom, and I don't have 100% proud moments for myself on television. I will have to answer to her for some of the behavior that she may see if she Googles her mom one day, or someone goes to school and says something negative about me. And I know that. And with every time I have a camera in front of my face, I try to do better. But the reality of it is that I'm human, is that we get hurt. People say things to me in my DMs or on my comments that I really, really try not to read, and it's hurtful. So just remembering that I wake up in my skin, I go to sleep in my skin, and that long as the people who know me and love me, or even feel like they know me and love me, are here and support me, and I stay true to myself and true to the purpose, that helps me day to day. And it helps me in raising my daughter to be the best, beautiful, Black, melanated woman that she is going to be. So a lot of the things that I have learned from not just this show, but like you said, living in LA, being from New Orleans, we've lived in Cleveland, Ohio. I've taken a piece of each and every place that we have lived, and a portion of the people who helped me stay grounded, and I have brought them every time that I have moved somewhere. Like I said, I brought you into my home in Atlanta, and you've never even been here because you showed me church. You know what I'm saying? So I have had the privilege to meet and be blessed with some amazing people who have helped keep my feet on the ground.
And so you mentioned, your daughter. So tell us a little bit. I mean, I see her too, and I see you and her. I know she's going to be sassy. Um,
Feisty.
and feisty, but that's I think the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, right?
Right.
But she's also going to be that positive person that you are as well, and she's going to stand up for something. So how is that different? Because I knew you before you were a mom too. How is that, for all the moms out there, how is that kind of, like you said, you started to talk about it, maybe change and teach you some stuff too, just thinking about, I mean, I think motherhood and the platform is, like you said, you're getting into it a little bit. Like that's a kind of a tough spot,
Yeah,
to be in. Is that something? How do you deal with that? How do you make it happen?
I think for me it is definitely remembering that I'm human, but a mother with eyes on her. Um,
Ah,
Not just those little eyes. I mean, there's young girls who send me messages all the time about being a role model. And I have cringing moments like, oh, I hope you only saw a positive scene and not the negative one. So there are things that it's like, I don't live with regrets because they are all teaching moments for me. Without those moments that may not be so positive, I would never be able to grow as a mother. I would never be able to grow as a wife. I would never be able to grow and be a better friend or just human being in general. So those kind of cringeworthy moments where it's like, oh my gosh, why did I drop that F-bomb my grandmother probably saw? Or trying to, y'all have seen the show. They become learning experiences, and the only thing I can say is that I do try to do better the next time. I may not always succeed because I am a human being, but I try to do better for those eyes watching me, and those 3-year-old little eyes and those 3-year-old little ears, trust me, are there. Because if I say a curse word, mommy, don't say that. Shoot, okay. Mommy. So she knows, like, she is on me. She lets nothing slide. So I can only imagine when she's 16 years old, like, really, Mom, this is what you was doing when I was a kid on television. Like, you couldn't get it together. I am prepared for little Miss Kenzie to grow up and have an opinion and have an attitude, because she has one now. So I really just try to do better. I really do. But, you got to remember, when you're in a situation like I'm in, women are women. You put us, not even with televisions, but you put cameras, you put too many women in a situation. After a while, somebody has an opinion that's different from somebody else's. Our octave is a little louder, but we're no different than any other group of girlfriends that can't get it together sometimes.
Right. So. Well, someone says you're the best, I believe, compared to most. So there you go. You're the best. Compared to most, I don't know, most humans or most what, but you're the best. So someone says, that's what this show is about, right? Like, again, thinking we all are human. It's the name of the show is Just Like You, Everyday People, Amazing Stories. And you're just, I mean, like you said, you're human. You're Kristen. It doesn't matter if cameras are on or off or in or up or whatever you want to use, that you are you're just like us.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't, and that's why, like I said, I wanted to create is just to show that everybody is just like you, but everybody also has, that story where, to your point, I mean, I'm sure there was a time, and maybe you can, talk to us more about it. There's a time in everyone's life where you can go up, you can go right, you can go left. One is, heaven, one's hell, one's right, one's wrong. We all make those choices every day. There's a time in everyone's life where you make that decision. And so I think that, it's just been important that, to your point, you're trying to, make the best decisions for you, best decisions for your family. And, being open and honest and real about sometimes that, crap happens. You know what I mean? And it may not be at the time you want it to happen, or, the place you want it to happen, and, or it's recorded and will know that it happened forever. But even though the rest of us aren't, it's not recorded for us, we still, to your point, you said earlier, we have to answer to that. And so no matter what, we all have to answer to that. So you gave us some of, the lesson, be true to yourself. And so now I want to take it and make it a different lesson, but, a lesson for someone else. Someone says, Kristen, you're so pretty. She is so pretty. I think so too.
Thank you.
that person is tequila, but I'm going to go with it.
Thank you, tequila.
Yeah, I'm going to have some of that myself. You know, lessons, you know, for others, lessons for, like I said, other people who, you know, are listening or may, you know, one day be in your situation. Someone else said, pretty inside and out. So.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Taryn. There's another Taryn. So.
Oh yeah, just spelled differently.
Yeah, I know her. And it's so funny because her husband's name is the same as my husband's name.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know. Talk about like just chance happenings. But yeah, lessons for someone else, lessons for other people that, you know, they could use.
You know, I don't know if I have like a lesson per se. More of a tidbit, and I feel like which is hard in some situations, but if you attempt, I will say, to keep God first in most everything that you do, everything else falls into place. Granted, even without the television, I find myself like getting upset with my child, or maybe my husband and I get in an argument and I don't have time to take a second and think. But I feel like based on that, the humanity of it, to be okay with making mistakes, but to attempt not to make those same mistakes. I'm sure I probably made the same mistake, maybe 2 or 3, or maybe I can't even count, but I feel like it's important to learn something out of all of it. And every night that I don't fall asleep or poor choices that I have made, maybe talking to Kenzie how I didn't want to, whatever the case of it is, in the morning and at night, that's where I try to, you know, wrap that bow up. Now, I don't have excuses through the day to have bad behavior to know that I'm going to reflect at night. That's not how I operate. But I think it is important that we forgive ourselves for the things that we do. I feel like mental illness is so huge. It has been, and especially being inside, and a lot of people are inside alone. And I feel like that we have to remember that we are going to do things that may not be of perfection, and you have to forgive yourself, and you have to find a way, whatever that outlet is in a positive way, to be able to move on from it, to make sure that you can survive, to know that it's okay, and to be able to live with whatever it is within yourself. And sometimes you don't get to talk to, you know, your aunt, your uncle, your whoever, but there's whatever and whoever you believe in. I feel like you can have that conversation, and that's how you sleep at night and wake up and keep pushing through your day.
Right.
So that's a lesson as much as it's.
Well, I think you said, what I heard you say is put God first. And then I also heard you say, forgive yourself. And again, forgiving yourself is, and someone agrees and says great words, you know, to you. And I think that forgiving yourself it's like so weird, because it's like you know, put God first and you're supposed to trust in him and put all things in him. But then we're like taking it back when we don't forgive ourselves.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that to your point of being able to do that, and I don't know about you, but I feel like that's a skill in itself, because I do a lot of self, you know, sometimes I can definitely go into that self-criticizing bucket. And I can imagine, to your point earlier, and that when you hear from other people that, you know, you don't even know from a can of paint, that must also, you know, weigh on your soul. So I think that for you, that's a really good point to make, is realizing, you know, to forgive yourself and, you know, keep living that day, you know, as putting God first, you know, because none of us are in that perfect boat.
Right.
So we talked about advocacy. We've talked about the show. We talked about mom. So tell us a little bit about maybe what the future holds. And then I have a surprise question for you at the very end. I know.
I actually I can't spoil my stuff.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of how, there's some stuff that I said. I am my philanthropy is homelessness.
Okay.
I gotta do one thing at a time though. Like today I woke up and I was like, I have 35 things to do, and then I wound up like organizing my bathroom drawer. So when I get to the point where I have so much to do, it's not that I'm trying to avoid it because I need to get that done, but I have to focus. So it's like I want to cure this and I want to fix that and I want to do this and this and this and this and this. And I'm like, you have to calm down and you perfect one thing at a time. And even if it's not perfect, make sure you're happy with it. Whatever that product is that you're gonna put out, whoever it's for, is right. And I'm not, excuse my French, but like half-assing something just to move on because there's something over here in this bucket. So homelessness is very close to me. It's something I've been feeding the homeless since I was a child with my father. And I have this grandiose idea and I want to get it done and I want to do this and this and this. And everybody's like, calm down. Like there's an order of events. So right now for me, now that Corona's kind of, I mean, it really hasn't eased up, but we're a little bit more outside. Maybe we shouldn't be, but we are. Right. I am going to educate myself beyond people being hungry. I had a phone conversation. This must have been a month and a half ago, and I never even thought about the LGBT community, that some of these children are kicked out of their homes once their parents hear that they are making whatever lifestyle choice they want, and that's why they're homeless. And I'm like, oh my God, like I because I can only think about loving and caring and not caring what body choice Kenzie makes or who she chooses to love. I never thought about that. Right. So for me, it's going to go beyond that part, and I really want to educate myself before I plaster my name on a foundation and just try to make sure everyone can eat. That there has to be education behind it. Same thing with Jamarion Robinson, right? So I was scared out of my mind to think that I could be an advocate. No, I can't. I'm just going to post a picture here and do this and use my platform to make sure people, but I did it. I went out there. I spoke in front of a whole bunch of people I didn't know and have a passion for something that I never knew I would have a passion for, because I can relate to that mother because I have a child, and they're no longer just killing our Black men, but they're killing our Black women too. So I used to be scared to want to have a little boy because I didn't know if he would make it. Now we've got the daughters we have to think about. So I'm all over the place because I want to do so much, and I'm trying to make sure I do it in the right order and don't take on too much at a time. So I have a few things that are near and dear to my heart. Some that are finished, some that are not, some that need to be perfected, some that need to be illustrated. I'm so picky, and I think good things coming. I don't know how long it's going to take for you guys to hear. One is 2 years in the working and it's driving me crazy, but I got some positive stuff coming out, and hopefully sooner than later. And then hopefully we get back on the Basketball Wives train and I get to be across your television again. So
yay. Well, I don't think it's picky at all. I think it's detailed, and sometimes that is, that's important, right? So I don't think it's picky. I think you you need to be choosy, when it's appropriate for you. So I think that's what that is. Picky is relative, right?
Picky is what?
When you're putting your name on it. So I think that you're putting your name on it. It's you can call it picky. Picky is relative when you put your name on it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Right.
True.
Oops. The internet gods getting us. So one last question, and if you can't think of anything, you can. Yes.
It's cutting in and out.
Am I cutting out?
Now I can hear you.
I said one last thing, and if you can think of anything, this is a surprise question. I noticed when you posted, said you may learn something. You told us when you posted that they may learn something new. Is there anything that you could tell us that something fun that people don't know about you? Something fun.
So I got this when I played the little question game in my Instagram story. Somebody said, "Tell me something that no one knows." I'm like, well, if nobody knows, why would I tell you? But my mom pretty much knows everything, and my friends know everything. Something fun that no one knows about me. Oh gosh. I don't know. I need help. Like something fun.
Phone a friend. I don't know. Do you like to play a certain game? You know, do you like to do a certain dance? Do you like to sing and we not know?
I've shown you guys so much. You guys have seen me twerk on television. You probably see me sing on television. You guys know that I like drinking vodka and water. Oh gosh, I feel like I've given it all to you. What is something fun?
Is there a special place you like to go? Where do you like to visit? You know, your favorite vacay, where you haven't been that you want to go, where you've been that you want to go
I've
back?
never been to Paris. That's not fun. I've never been to Paris.
Oh, that sounds like it'd be a fun.
I've said this on an Instagram live workout, so I don't know if people have heard this. But Basketball Wives is not my first television appearance. Was that fun? Can you hear me? No.
Yeah, no, that's
so
a fun thing.
Okay, so my first television appearance, technically I was in high school and I was on MTV on a show called The King and Queen of Mardi Gras, and I won Mardi Gras 2002, 3, whatever it was. And I did 2 movies after that. So Basketball Wives is my 4th television appearance. So I don't know. That's all I got.
That's a good one.
Look, I've been twerking since high school.
So, ladies and gentlemen, crazy way right now. It's so crazy. I don't know if you can see it or hear me.
It's like this.
But can you still?
Did I look frozen too? I can't hear you.
So
there you are.
You can still hear me. I'm gonna let you go. Why? I'll let Kristen and her hit show Basketball Wives go, and I'll let her be the queen of Mardi Gras again. I really appreciate it, Kristen. I really appreciate your time and your talents, and keep going to church and keep advocating and keep staying true to yourself. Most important.
I will do all of those things.
And take care of that little beautiful girl.
And absolutely will do that.
And I'll keep sending you jokes every day.
Sometimes I'm like, I needed this laugh today because, honey, you know, quarantine life is hard.
Yeah, because that last one was funny about the ears.
Yeah, and all the things that you send, anything you send me about like a husband, it's all like spot on with mine. So I appreciate it.
Girl, I'm like sometimes. Okay, girl, I love you, and
love you too.
Love you.
Bye, guys.
Be good to yourself.
Don't forget to Google Jamarion Robinson. You guys read this story. Let me know if you have questions about it too.
Yes, for sure. I mean, I'm going to let you know if I have questions. Okay. I'm going to read up on myself, to be honest. So thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Great job. Thank you. Bye-bye.